Hello, everybody. My name is V. Like victorious. Which this movement will be. I spoke for the first time. Last night. In Zuccotti Park. Because I am so angry. I had to say something. I am a journalist. An independent journalist. Up until 2 years ago, I worked for other journalistic operations that had in my contract I couldn't be a part of such a thing as OWS. When OWS started, I was covering the New York Film Festival for a month. When it was over, I went to Zuccotti Park. And I went as a good journalist. What a good journalist does is go to the scene of the action. And look. And listen. And observe. And then ask questions. And you don't try to put it in a box. That day, I said to the person on the outreach table, I am not a marcher. I don't carry signs. But if you need help on this desk, I will come down and help. That was a Saturday, 3 weeks, 5 days ago. Tuesday I was on the desk. Giving out information about OWS. I also joined the Sustainability Working Group. And the Food Subgroup. Because the little thing I hope to do to make the world a better place is to strive toward everyone on earth having good whole food in their bodies. I am angry at the media because justice?
How often do they say it's about social and economic justice?
But the movement will prevail despite the corporate media,
Despite the corporate media,
which is very entrenched
which is very entrenched
in the 1%.
in the 1%,
They have no interest
they have no interest
in informing their readership, their viewership,
in informing their viewership
what this is about,
what this is about,
because they are the 1%.
because they are the 1%.
General Electric,
General Electric,
no taxes.
no taxes.
The Mickey Mouse Network,
The Mickey Mouse Network,
ABC, for those of you who don't know. They have no interest in making their people aware
making their people aware
of what this is about.
of what this is about.
But thank God Almighty,